Are we genuinely watching one of the greatest pitchers of this generation drift through baseball like a wandering gunslinger, checking his phone and waiting for the right call? Because that is exactly where Max Scherzer finds himself right now, and it feels surreal. A man who once terrified entire lineups before he even threw a pitch is suddenly baseball's most fascinating free agent, suspended between legacy and reality, between what he was and what he still believes he can be. This is Max Scherzer we're talking about, a three-time Cy Young winner, a future first-ballot Hall of Famer, and the owner of those unforgettable mismatched eyes that have glared down hitters for over 2 decades. Now he's 41, coming off a season where the numbers looked unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. A 5.17 ERA is not just a blemish, it's a warning sign, the kind that usually tells teams to move on quickly and quietly. But Scherzer has never been ordinary, and his story was never going to fade politely into the background. According to Ken Rosenthal, Scherzer has made it abundantly clear that he is healthy, motivated, and ready. What makes this moment extraordinary is his willingness to wait. He is prepared to sit out the start of the 2026 season entirely if it means landing with a genuine World Series contender. This isn't desperation. This is a man chasing the final brushstroke on a masterpiece, legacy hunting with ruthless clarity. If you're enjoying this deep dive, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Blue Jays Report, because stories like this don't come around often. The comparison to Roger Clemens is impossible to ignore. Clemens waited until May before joining the Yankees in 2007, stepping into a contender's rotation midstream and offering experience more than dominance. David Robertson followed a similar path more recently, proving that veterans who know October can still matter, even if the raw numbers no longer sparkle. That is the lane Scherzer is walking now. Not as an ace savior, but as a weapon for the moments that matter most. Let's be brutally honest about what we saw last season. There were nights when Scherzer looked mortal, when hitters sat on his pitches and punished mistakes that once would have been untouchable. Nearly 3,000 innings leave scars, and Father Time doesn't negotiate. Yet there were flashes, too. The fastball still climbed into the mid-90s. The slider still bit. The fire still burned. Scherzer didn't look finished, just human, and that distinction matters. What complicates this story is his postseason performance. When October arrived and the lights grew harsher, Scherzer responded like the warrior he's always been. His playoff ERA told a far kinder story, and he was 1 out away from adding another ring before fate intervened. That alone guarantees interest, because contenders don't forget what players do when pressure tightens its grip. So where does a pitcher like this land? Milwaukee suddenly makes sense, having opened a hole in their rotation and needing a veteran compass for a young staff. San Diego always lurks when star power is available, and the idea of Scherzer joining a rotation built to win now feels entirely plausible. Philadelphia also fits, a team deep in its championship window, unafraid to invest in experience if it nudges them closer to another pennant. Then there's the sentimental pull of Detroit. This is where Scherzer became Max Scherzer, where he claimed his first Cy Young and announced himself to the baseball world. The Tigers are young, hungry, and rising. A return would feel poetic, a final chapter written where the legend first took shape. Baseball, after all, loves symmetry. What we can rule out are rebuilding clubs. Scherzer isn't interested in mentoring for the sake of mentoring. Every decision he makes now is about October, about the noise, the nerves, and the chance to matter when everything is on the line. Waiting is a risk, of course. The phone might not ring when he wants it to. A team might choose youth over pedigree. But if you're a general manager in June and your rotation springs a leak, are you calling an untested arm from AAA, or are you calling Max Scherzer? That's the gamble, and it's one Scherzer has earned the right to take. This is the Clemens playbook, the veteran's privilege that only comes with decades of dominance. He's betting that his name still carries weight, that his October resume still opens doors, and that someone will blink first. What makes this so compelling is we're watching the final act unfold in real time. There is no script, no guarantee of a fairy tale ending. Scherzer could sign mid-season and become a postseason hero again, or he could fade quietly, satisfied with a career that needs no embellishment. 3 Cy Youngs, over 3,000 strikeouts, and a place in Cooperstown are already secure.
But my instinct says we haven't seen the last of Mad Max. Somewhere, a contender will need him, and when that moment comes, he'll be ready. So now I want to hear from you. Where do you think Max Scherzer ends up? And does he have one more October run left in him? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button if you're rooting for one final act of greatness, and subscribe to the Blue Jays Report because this story isn't over yet.